There's a Scottish island so small you could drive across it before your coffee goes cold, and yet the 9 distilleries crammed onto it make some of the most fought-over whiskey anywhere on earth. Some of it is smooth enough for a beginner, and some of it tastes like you licked a campfire that fell into the ocean. And whiskey people will genuinely lose friendships arguing about which one deserves the top spot. That's what's getting settled today. Every Islay whiskey ranked from worst to best with real store prices, and nobody paid off to be polite about it. The bottle that ended up last is one people absolutely swear by, and that's going to upset a few of you before we even hit the halfway mark. Number 9, Bowmore 12. Starting at the bottom feels harsh when you're talking about the oldest distillery on the island, one that's been running since 1779, back when the United States wasn't so much a country as a heated argument between a bunch of guys in wigs. The trouble with Bowmore 12 isn't that it's bad, because it isn't. It's gently smoky, a little salty, easy to drink, and completely inoffensive in every way a whiskey can be. But somewhere north of $60, completely inoffensive stops being a compliment, especially when almost everything higher on this list hands you more flavor and more personality for the same money or less. Older Bowmore has this near mythical reputation, with certain bottles selling at auction for the price of an actual house. And this is very much not one of those bottles. Think of it as the sensible 4-door sedan of Islay. Reliable, gets you there, and nobody in history has ever written a love song about one. It sits last not because it offends anyone, but because everything above it simply gives you a better reason to spend the money. Number 8, Bunnahabhain 12. Good luck saying that one at the liquor store. It's pronounced Bunnahabhain, and it's basically the quiet kid sitting at the back of the Islay classroom. While most of the island is busy hitting you over the head with smoke, Bunnahabhain wanders off in the opposite direction with something nutty, a bit of dried fruit, and a soft breath of sea air instead. This is the bottle you hand to the relative who insists he doesn't like those smoky scotches, right before he quietly finishes half the bottle and pretends he didn't. The only real knock against it is that it gets stuck in the middle of everything. Not smoky enough to feel like a proper Islay adventure, and not cheap enough to be an easy yes. It's a genuinely good whiskey that somehow showed up wearing the wrong island's jersey. Number 7, Ardnahoe. Here's the new kid on the block, so new that its first official bottling only landed in 2024, which makes it the baby of an island where most places have been going for a couple of centuries. And the surprising part is that for something this young, it's already really good, with this big oily coastal character that quietly embarrasses the whole idea that whiskey has to be old to be worth drinking. Nice. So why is it stuck down at number 7 when it tastes this promising? Because it costs $90, and that is a lot to ask for a distillery's opening night when you're partly paying for the hype and the bragging rights of having tried it before your friends did. Give it a few years to settle down and let that price drift back to earth, and this thing could climb the list in a hurry. Right now though, your wallet is well within its rights to ask a few pointed questions. Quick one before the top 6, because a fair few of you are already halfway through an angry comment about where Bowmore landed. Keep it coming, honestly, that's the fun part. Number 6, Bruichladdich, the classic Laddie. Another tongue twister for the collection, this time pronounced Bruichladdich, and it happens to be the resident rebel of the whole island. There's no peat at all in the core bottle, which on Islay is a bit like turning up to a chili cook-off holding a fruit salad, and yet somehow it works beautifully. All floral and malty and bright with citrus, bottled at a properly punchy 50%. The people behind it are almost aggressively honest too, happily telling you exactly what's in the bottle and where the barley was grown, while half the industry guards that same information like it's a nuclear launch code. The only reason it isn't higher is that the price bounces around depending on where you shop. So if you spot it hovering near $50, it's a steal. And if you're staring at a $78 sticker, you'll absolutely feel the difference on the way to the register. Number 5, Caol Ila 12. What the f*** is that? This one is pronounced Caol Ila, and yes, absolutely everyone butchers it the first time, so don't feel bad. Caol Ila is the smooth operator of the bunch, with lighter smoke, a wash of sea salt, and a clean citrus thing running underneath. And it's the bottle that mysteriously empties itself at every gathering because it's just so ridiculously easy to drink. Here's a fact you can drop at dinner to sound like the smartest person at the table. Caol Ila is actually the biggest producer on the island, and a huge amount of what it makes never appears under its own name at all, quietly disappearing into bottles of Johnny Walker instead. If you've never tried an Islay before, and the really smoky ones sound intimidating, this is where you start, no question. It's wonderful stuff that only lands at number 5, because the 4 monsters coming up next are simply more exciting. Number 4, Kilchoman Machir Bay. This is the farm distillery, and that's not marketing fluff. because these people genuinely grow the barley, malt it, distill it and bottle it all on the same patch of ground, which is something almost nobody bothers to do anymore. Machir Bay punches so far above its age that it's almost unfair, taking young whiskey and layering this warm vanilla and smoke thing over a gentle sherry sweetness that tastes considerably more expensive than the price on the shelf suggests. Everything they make comes out at full strength, natural color, no chill filtering, and no corporate shortcuts anywhere to be found, which is exactly the kind of honesty you want from people who clearly care more about the liquid than the logo. At $65, this is the moment the list quietly shifts from, yeah, that's pretty good, to go and actually buy this one. Right. Top 3? This is where people genuinely start losing their minds, so buckle up. Number 3. Laphroaig 10, pronounced Laphroaig, and comfortably the most divisive bottle on the entire island, which makes it all the more fun that it's also the cheapest thing in the top 3. People do not have mild feelings about this whiskey, because it tastes like iodine, seaweed, a hospital waiting room and a beach bonfire all decided to work on a group project together, and there's a long-running joke that it tastes like a band-aid, except the fans say that part like it's the highest possible praise. So why does something that polarizing land at number 3? One reason, and it's the price, because at $45, this bottle over-delivers so hard it's almost rude to the more expensive stuff, arriving at 46% non-chill filtered and absolutely loaded with personality. It's the best welcome to the deep-end bottle money can buy, and after one glass you'll either be a devoted fan for life or you'll quietly resolve to never take a whiskey recommendation from me again. Number 2. Lagavulin 16. Here's the famous one, the bottle your favorite grumpy TV character probably swirls around while delivering a monologue, and after 16 long years sitting in the barrel, it genuinely earns the reputation. This is the sink into the good armchair, after dinner sort of Islay, all deep smoke and dried fruit with a finish that lingers around pleasantly, like a house guest you actually enjoy having. And it is, without much argument, one of the truly great whiskies on the planet. 2 things keep it out of the top spot, and the first is simply that $80 is real money. The second is a slightly spicy take that a fair few long-time drinkers quietly agree with, which is that the modern 16 feels a touch tamer than it used to, a little softer and a little safer around the edges. Still fantastic, still gorgeous, but once you've tasted what's sitting at number 1, safe stops being the thing you're reaching for, which brings us, finally, to the bottle I will happily defend to my last breath. Number 1, Ardbeg 10, $55. That's it, that's the price. And experienced drinkers have sat down in blind tastings, tried this thing next to scotches costing 4 times as much, and quietly ranked the cheap one on top. Ardbeg 10 does not gently ease you into the experience the way some of the others do. It simply kicks the door clean off its hinges with a wall of peat, tar, citrus and black pepper, and then reveals this sneaky little chocolate and espresso richness hiding underneath once your palate stops panicking. It's the most heavily peated of the big household names, and yet that bright citrus keeps the whole thing from tipping over into pure smoke overload, arriving at 46% non-chill filtered, no fake coloring, and priced like it's actively trying to insult the expensive bottles sitting on the shelf beside it. That's the entire reason it takes the crown, not because it's the smoothest or the fanciest pour on the island, but because nothing else here gives you this much whiskey for this little money. It's the one I keep actually buying, usually 2 bottles at a time, so Ardbeg walks away with the title. And if you disagree, the comment section is right there waiting for you.